Hi, I'm Kili, also known as Kelly.
And I'm Feely, also known as Alex,
Welcome to our corner of the Shire,
where we will show you how to bring Middle Earth
into your daily life to keep you
a happy hobbit.
Welcome to this episode of Happy Hobbit. Today, I'm going to show you how to make home-brewed hard apple cider. Now, we all know that hobbits love their food, but they also have a great passion for the brewing of ales. This cider is also wonderful because instead of cane sugar, I'm going to be using honey, which is going to give it a little bit more of a mead taste, so you know the dwarves in your life are going to go crazy for it. I'm sure men will like it too, and elves probably won't even be able to turn it down, which I'm counting on, because this cider is going to be served at my next Hobbit party. To start with, I've already sanitized all of the utensils that I'm going to need for brewing, including this 5-gallon food-grade brew bucket. Now, yeast can be found everywhere in our environment, and the important part of the sanitization process is that you are trying to prevent wild yeast from entering your brew because it can alter its flavor, sometimes for the better, but oftentimes for the worst, and it's just a wild card that, you know, most people who brew at home don't really want to deal with. So you make sure you sanitize everything that's going to be touching your liquid. What I'm going to do first is start my yeast. So what I've done is I've taken some of the apple juice and heated it up. Now you don't want it to get over 100 degrees because that will kill the yeast, which are actually microorganisms. The yeast are going to consume the sugar in the fruit juice, and the byproduct of that process is alcohol. And so that's how the chemical process of it works. So I'm going to add these to my apple juice and then stir it up. Then I'm going to let them sit while I do the rest of the brewing process so that this way I know that the yeast is active and it's starting to do its thing. If you're not brewing for a large group of people, an alternative is to take a 1-gallon jug like this and pour out a cup or two of the juice and brew straight in the bottle. The benefit of that is that it's glass and clear and you can actually watch the fermentation process happening. The only thing you'll need to do is create a stopper for the top so that the gas can be let out in increments. But if you are interested in trying different recipes and experimenting, I think that getting a 1-gallon bucket or container is the way to go because then you don't have a massive amount of cider if it doesn't go well. I've had our 5 gallons of apple juice sitting out in the sun all day so that they'll get nice and warm. You don't want them too hot because that will damage the yeast, but if they're warm, it's easier for the process to start, especially when you're adding honey. You can make alcohol without adding sugar or honey, but by adding this, it's going to increase the alcohol content and make it more of a cider. So I'm adding 2 pounds of honey. I've also had this sitting out in the sun, so as you can tell, it's nice and liquidy. Pooh Bear would be jealous.
So would Bjorn, actually.
I wonder if Pooh Bear knows Bjorn or Bjorn knows Pooh.
They might be relatives.
I don't think the phrase Bjorn knows Pooh is allowed. I'm stirring up the mixture after I've added the honey. And then I'm going to add the second half. I have a thing about honey. Sometimes I buy it from the farmer's market and I just eat it with a spoon. This is kind of difficult for me right now to restrain myself. Maybe I'm part bear.
Or a lot there.
Most recipes want you to use unpasteurized apple juice, but that's really difficult to find, and so we may do with pasteurized apple juice. And if you're going to use pasteurized, it's best to use cold pasteurized. But I have no idea how this was pasteurized, because I don't know the dude who made it. So I'm just going to see what happens. Okay, and I'm going to do it like this. So So now it's time to add the yeast mixture. So this is just yeast mixed with apple juice that was warmed up a little bit. And I'm going to add it, and this will start the fermentation process. Usually takes about 2 weeks for the fermentation process to occur, and you should let it sit at least another week after that. So you can, in theory, have homebrewed cider in under 3 weeks. So it's mixed up. Unfortunately, I don't have something long enough to touch the bottom, and I don't have sanitary fingers, so. Now you put on the airtight lid, which, as anyone who saw the wine episode knows, isn't exactly my best friend. I'm worried this is going to be a repeat. Opposite style.
It's okay, everyone loves flashback episodes.
Oh yeah, they're everyone's favorite. You guys just saw it didn't happen, okay? So this is how you put a lid on. You put it down on the ground, and you use your palms, and you snap it into place. You really hope that all the hobbits who come to your party, including the horse, appreciate what you've done. All that's left is to put in the airlock, which will help you monitor, help the gas get out and help you monitor the brewing process. Then agitate this as much as you can. There, you see gas is already escaping. Then you want to store this in a cool, dry place, a dark place preferably, usually around 60 degrees, and let it sit there for the duration of the time that you're brewing. And when you're done, well, you have a party. Hope you learned something. Thanks for watching, kids and adults, dwarves, elves, men, hobbits, orcs, urukai, goblins,
Ents.
dwarves,
Hello.
Ents. Though, given that this is apple juice, I don't think that's appropriate.
Awkward.
And dogs.
Better be some good. Whoa.
The heck's floating in there?
Tasties.
When in doubt, just make stuff up. I saw some sediment in our cider, and I don't want it in the final product, so I'm just trying to put on this coffee filter, and maybe it won't work and we won't use any of this footage, but if it does,
You'll learn the new Happy Hobbit secret.
this is called Kili completely forgot that you can't just like pour it out of the thing and eat it. Or drink it, rather. And so she's trying to come up with alternate means.
Several minutes later, after dogs try to drink. No.
You guys! You little alcoholics! I hope you've enjoyed this episode and that you've learned a little bit about brewing and maybe are excited to try it yourself, because as you can see and as our ancestors knew, it's very, very simple. So please, drink responsibly, which means drinking with dwarven supervision.
What if the dwarves are all passed out?
Dwarven presence. Hobbit supervision.
Gandalf.
Wizard supervision.
Hey.
Got honey all over me. Apple juice in my hair.
Bilbo Maine. That's what I heard.
I hope you've enjoyed this episode and that you learned a thing or two about brewing. And remember, always drink with...
Drink with farts?
But why is the rum gone?
Yeah. Thorin. Okay. Dog poop face. Go.
Going?
Yes. I think I took pictures of you. Susan!
Alright. Welcome to this episode of Happy Hobbit. Today, I'm going to teach you how to make home out. Okay. Welcome to this episode of Happy Hobbit. Today, I'm going to be showing you...
Wait, look like you're trying to take off your finger.
Welcome to this episode of Happy Hobbit. Today, I'm going to be showing you how to make hard apple cider. Now, I'm brewing this because I happen to have a special birthday coming up where I'm leaving one decade and entering the next, which is kind of a scary thing. So, nothing to make it easier than a little, you know, a little something golden and delicious. Oh my god, you look like you're dying! You're going like...
Look at her. She's a drunk. A honey drunk.
I'm just cleaning up.
Peacocks also apparently want to try some cider, huh? Man, she likes honey too, huh? You're a honey bear. Do you think Thrinda will want some?
I'm not giving it to him. He doesn't get any. Whether he wants it or not, I don't care.
I already told him because last time about the wine, he was like, oh, I hope you're making some more.
He took all 4 bottles and left me 1. He's not getting this. This is for my Hobbit party, and guess what? He's not invited.
Someone's getting a little racial here. Hobbit party, no
Don't
elves.
talk to me about racial.
Well, what are you? Hobbit, dwarf, elf.
No, you know not to ask that question if you know anything about Happy Hobbit. You know you don't ask what race we are. It's rude. You can't just come up to someone and ask what race they are.